Welcome to Allocadia's self-serve training series, developed to assist you in setting up your company's Allocadia instance. Allocadia is for all marketers, from the coordinator to the CMO, and from all field teams to global. You can structure Allocadia marketing budgeting software based on your organizational needs. My name is Jennifer and I will be your host for the series. Let's get started with video 5 of 7, Importing, Part 1. Let's quickly recap what we learned in the first 4 videos in the self-serve training series. In video 1, Building the Hierarchy, we discussed how to plan and create a budget hierarchy in Allocadia. In video 2, Configure the Settings, we discussed how to plan, create, and manage columns and fields, how to create and edit views, how to create and edit tags, how to adjust account preferences, how to set budget currencies, what the purpose of custom settings are, and how to set up connectors in Allocadia. In video 3, Import Budget Data, we discussed how to format a budget spreadsheet for import, how to import new budget data into a new budget, and how to import new budget data into an existing budget. In video 4, User Management, we discussed the user roles, how to adjust permissions, how to view user roles, and how to invite, edit, and remove users in the application. In this video, we will cover the benefits of importing your POs and actuals, establishing your finance workflow, the ERP extract, how to format the extract for import, how to import POs and actuals, and import template management. Do you remember the days before Allocadia, when marketers tracked their budgets in spreadsheets? Each spreadsheet was owned by a different marketing manager who tracked their spend in their own way. It was a chaotic mess. Do you remember how time-consuming and inaccurate reconciling the budget spreadsheets to the finances system of record was? Allocadia provides one centralized and consistent system for your organization's marketing, budgeting, and planning. No more inconsistent spreadsheets. Now imagine how much better it would be if Allocadia could ease the pain of reconciliation between marketing and finance. Good news, we can and we do. You can map your actual spend to the individual planned marketing activities by importing your organization's POs and actuals directly into Allocadia. Let's talk about the 4 import workflow options and establish which one works best for your organization. Option 1, using a custom finance system unique ID to map POs and actuals. Does your finance system assign a unique ID to marketing activities such as a shopping cart number or PR number, etc.? We can utilize that unique ID to match POs and actuals to their associated marketing activity. The benefit of using the custom finance system unique ID is that you have a unique key to tie all spend data back to. The only thing that the marketing end user will be responsible for, additional to managing their plan and forecast, is inputting the unique ID into a custom field on the details panel. What are the disadvantages of using the custom finance system unique ID? The process can be time-consuming for the end users who have to go into each line item individually to input the custom IDs. If the budget editor does not input the custom ID, Allocadia will be unable to map the actual to the line item, creating additional work for the operations team, who must try to identify which budget, category, and line item the PO or actual belongs to. Please note each line item can only have one custom ID. To utilize the custom finance system unique ID for import, the following fields are required in the finance system extract: amount, date, and custom unique ID. Option 2, using the Allocadia ID to map POs and actuals. For companies that don't use unique IDs, I have good news. Every marketing activity, aka line item in Allocadia, has a unique Allocadia ID number that is located on the details panel. By providing the Allocadia ID number to the finance department with the purchase orders and actuals, the finance department can track the Allocadia ID in their ERP system. Like the custom finance ID, we can utilize the Allocadia ID to match POs and actuals to their associated marketing activity. The benefit of using the Allocadia ID is there is one unique key to tie all PO and actuals back to a line item in Allocadia. As each line item has a unique ID, multiple POs and actuals can be mapped to an individual line item. Utilizing the Allocadia ID for imports eliminates the need for any manual intervention by the marketing team. Speak with your finance department about creating a new Allocadia ID field in their ERP, or about adding the 6-digit number at the beginning of the memo, description, or notes field. To utilize the Allocadia ID for import mapping, the following fields are required in the finance system extract: amount, date, and Allocadia ID. Option 3, using POs to map actuals. If you're importing your POs and actuals, you can use the PO number as a unique ID during the actuals import. To utilize the PO number during import, the following fields are required in the finance system extract: amount, date, and PO number. Option 4. Using dynamic rules to map POs and actuals. If an organization is unable to utilize the unique ID rules, we must establish dynamic rules that will assist us in mapping the POs and actuals to the individual line item. Dynamic rules are rules that match specific spreadsheet values to Allocadia budgets, categories, and/or line items. We highly recommend adding the following fields, though they are not required: description, vendor, account code, region, local amount, and local currency if POs and actuals are being imported in their local currency. If there isn't an existing finance extract, engage your IT or finance departments as soon as possible. Before you can get an extract, you need to establish what you would like to bring in from your financial system. You may want to ask your finance team what they can provide in an extract, as they may be limited. For purchase orders, we recommend you bring forward the following data sets: date, PO number, Allocadia ID or unique ID, PO amount, vendor, PO requester or owner, description, and status. For actuals, we recommend you bring forward the following data sets: date, amount spend, invoice number, Allocadia ID or unique ID, vendor, actual type, account code, description, and PO number if POs are being brought into Allocadia. Ask finance to provide you with a sample extract of the fields you would like to see. Once we've established the datasets that we would like to import into Allocadia on the PO panel and actuals panel, we need to ensure that there are corresponding fields in Allocadia. Let's look at what fields are on the PO panel and actuals panel by default. On the Home tab, open a budget by clicking on the green Go to Budget hyperlink. Open the Details panel by clicking on the double arrows next to a line item. Click on the PO tab to open the PO panel. Cross-reference the PO fields in Allocadia with the columns in the PO extract from Finance. Let's do the same thing for the Actuals panel fields. Open the Details panel by clicking on the double arrows next to a line item. Click on the Actuals tab to open the Actuals panel. Cross-reference the Actuals fields in Allocadia with the columns in the Actuals extract from Finance. Let's create the new fields in Allocadia. On the Home tab, click the green Master Settings hyperlink. This might say Budget Settings if you have a standalone budget. The Settings page will open. Review the columns in the columns list prior to adding any columns. There may be a column existing that matches your requirements. Type the name of the column in the Add Column text box. Select a type of column in the Type drop-down. Click the plus Add Column button. In the Location, select the PO panel if this is a PO field, or the Invoices panel if this is an Actuals field. For more detailed information on how to create a new column, watch Video 2, Configure Your Settings, Part 1 in the Self-Serve training series. Before we can import the POs and actuals, we must format the extract spreadsheet. Start by saving the document as an XLS or CSV file. Please note that XLSX formats will not import. The first row in your spreadsheet must be the header row. Make sure that there are no empty columns or rows in the dataset. Allocadia reads empty columns and rows as the end of the dataset and will not read past them. Choose one date column as your primary date column. This is the date that you would like to use in your reporting. Once you've chosen the primary date, ensure that it is formatted in one of the following date variations: month/day/year/year/year, day/month/year/year/year, year/year/year-month-month-day-day, day-month-month-month-year-year, month-month-month-year-year, month 1 to 12 numerical, month/day/year-year-year-year 24-hour clock. Please note, if you would like to import additional date columns as reference points, you must ensure that they are formatted in the same date formatting. If you are using a unique ID to map your POs and actuals to the individual marketing activities, aka line items, you'll need to ensure that it is either in its own column or at the beginning or end of a description or notes field. This will enable you to create a rule that pulls the ID out of the specified field. The worksheet that you are importing must be your first tab in the workbook. The linked spreadsheets in your file will cause an error. Remove these before importing. If there are linked spreadsheets within your file, it will result in an upload screen cycling for a prolonged period. Please refresh your screen and log back in. If there are columns in your extract you do not want to import into Allocadia, you do not have to delete them. They will only import if there is a corresponding field in Allocadia. POs and actuals must be in separate import documents. Now let's jump into the application and import your POs and actuals. The process for importing POs is identical to the process for importing actuals. In the interest of saving time, we'll walk through importing actuals. On the Home tab, click on the Import drop-down in the top right-hand corner of the window. Select Actuals from the drop-down list. The Import Actuals pop-up window will appear. Click on the Import Into drop-down menu and select the folder, subfolder, or budget that you would like to import into. If you're using a unique ID to map your actuals to the individual marketing activities, you should import into the top folder in the budget hierarchy, also known as the root folder. Browse for the actual spreadsheet that you prepared. Import templates are created during the import process. If you've already created an import template, you would select the desired import template via the Template drop-down menu. Click Next. The next step in the import process is to assign spreadsheet fields that you want to import into the application to the fields on the Actuals panel. If there is a spreadsheet field that you do not want imported into the application, we will ensure that Select is showing as the drop-down menu selection. Please note that only one spreadsheet field can be matched into one Actuals panel field, otherwise the import will be rejected. Select the date format that you used for your date columns in the spreadsheet in the Date Format drop-down menu. Click Next. The next step in the import process references how Allocadia identifies and deals with duplicate POs or actuals being imported. Let's jump out of the application and look at different options. Duplicate recognition is the process of identifying lines within the import document that are duplicates of line items that are in that same import document or were imported in an earlier import document. Allocadia's duplicate recognition function prevents those duplicates from being imported into the application. There are three primary options in the Identify Duplicate Matching Fields process. Option 1. Matching all spreadsheet fields. This means all of the spreadsheet fields are used to identify duplicates. If the inputs in all of the fields are identical, the item will be identified as a duplicate and not brought into Allocadia. If there is even the smallest variance, the item will be brought into Allocadia as a new PO or actual. Option 2. Matching on specific fields uses only those specified fields to find duplicates. If a line item is found in the import spreadsheet with identical inputs in the specified matching fields, the remaining fields will be updated and replaced with values in the import. This action is known as the Identify and Replace functionality. The Identify and Replace functionality enables marketers to import an updated version of a PO or actual that is already existing within the application. Use the Identify and Replace function to replace the changed fields instead of manually adjusting a PO amount or a PO status when it changes. Option 3. Allow duplicates. Allow duplicates disables the duplicate recognition function. We do not recommend allowing duplicates during the PO import, as each PO should be unique. If you import credit card charges, you may want to import these in a separate import and allow duplicates, as credit card charges can look identical. In our example for this training video, we will select specific spreadsheet fields to match against. Select the Specific Spreadsheet Fields radio dial at the top of the Import Actuals pop-up window. In the Duplicate Matching Fields column, select the spreadsheet fields that you would like to match on. We recommend selecting the invoice number or unique database ID key as a matching field. Invoice numbers and unique ID keys are a flat key as a matching field. Invoice numbers and unique keys are unique to that actual. Click the Next button. Earlier in this video, we established our import workflow to map our actuals to the individual line items. We will now apply those rules to the import. Let's start by applying a unique ID rule. If you're not using the unique ID rule, keep following along. This will just take a moment, and then I will show you how to use dynamic rules. Next to the title Unique ID Rule in the Spreadsheet field dropdown, choose the field in your spreadsheet that contains the unique ID. In the Allocadia field dropdown, select the Allocadia field that you will be matching against. The options are Custom Field. This is a custom number to your organization created by finance, the CRM, or your other systems. Allocadia ID, which is a number that is found on the Details panel for each line item, and PO number if you're mapping actuals. You can match the PO number associated with an actual to a PO number that was previously imported into Allocadia in the PO panel. In our example, our Allocadia ID is in the Notes field along with other information. We need to create a regular expression that allows us to identify which part of the Notes field contains the Allocadia ID. Click the green Advanced Options hyperlink. The Advanced Options dialog box will open. In the Unique ID field, Regular Expression text box, add a regular expression that will identify which characters in a field are the unique ID. In our example, we have the Allocadia ID as the first 6 characters in the Notes field. The regular expression must use only the first characters in the field. We would use / capital A, period, open brace 6, close brace. If the unique ID was at the end of the field, the regular expression must use only the last 6 characters in the field. We would use period, open brace 6, close brace / capital Z. You may need to touch base with your IT department for assistance with establishing the proper regular expression rule for your import. Click the OK button. The regular expression can be used to pull any unique ID out of a memo, description, or notes field. Click the Apply button. Each applied rule matches one or more row in the import file to a location within Allocadia. At the bottom of the Import Actuals pop-up window, above the Import button, you will see 3 icons noting the status of the matches: the number matched, the number to match, and the number flagged. The number matched references the number of rows that have matched the rules that have been applied. In our example, this is the number that have a unique ID that matches the unique ID in the import spreadsheet. The number to match references the number of rows that did not match the rules that have been applied. In our example, some of the rows did not have a unique ID, so the unique ID rule cannot be applied to those items. The number of flagged references the number of rows that have 2 possible locations that the row can be mapped to using the applied rule. To view details on the items that have been matched, click the plus icon. Now let's use some dynamic rules to match the rest of the rows. Click the Dynamic Rules drop-down. We will use region and account code to match our rows as close to the individual line items as possible. Select Region from the drop-down. To add a second dynamic rule, click the plus icon. Select Account Code from the second Dynamic Rules drop-down. In the table below the drop-downs, you will see a grid with 3 columns. The spreadsheet value columns show the values in the spreadsheet based on the dynamic rules selected. In the center column, the Budget Category Line Item column, you will select which budget category within the budget and line item the spreadsheet value belongs to. If you're unable to get that detailed, try to match to the budget at least. In the final column, Matches, you will see the number of rows that were not previously matched that will match using this dynamic rule. Once you're satisfied with the dynamic rules, click the Apply Rule button. What happens if you've applied a rule that you didn't want to use or accidentally mismatched a row? Look at the applied rules via the plus icon. In line with the match, scroll to the right and click the red X. Once you are satisfied with the rules, click the Import drop-down menu. If you would like to import without creating a template or saving changes to the template, select Import. If you would like to import and create a template that will allow you to remember your matching assignments and rules, select Import and Save Template As. You will be returned to the Home tab. At the top of the Home tab, a message will appear saying, Successfully imported, number, number mapped, duplicates not imported, number. Next time you import, you will find your template in your template dropdown. Using the import template allows Allocadia to remember the field assignments, which duplicate matching fields you've selected, and the rules that you applied will automatically apply. You can update and add to the template by adjusting the rules that have been applied and select Import and Save from the Import drop-down menu. Or you can create a new template based off of the original template by selecting Import and Save As from the Import drop-down menu. How do you delete templates that you no longer want? On the Home tab, go to the level of the budget hierarchy that the template was created at. Select Actuals from the Import drop-down menu. The Import Actuals pop-up window will open. Click on the green Manage Templates hyperlink next to the Template drop-down menu. In the Templates For pop-up window, you will see all of the templates that have been created at this level of the budget hierarchy. To delete a template, select the template and click the Delete Selected Template button. Once you have finished managing your templates, click Close. Click Cancel on the Import Actuals pop-up window. Let's view the actuals that you've mapped to the line items. On the Home tab, click the green Go to Budget hyperlink to open a budget. Look at the Actuals column to see a high-level summary of the actuals that were imported for that month. Let's recap what we just learned. We learned the benefits of importing our POs and actuals, how to establish our finance workflow, what to request from finance for the ERP extract, how to format the extract for import, how to import POs and actuals, and how to manage our import templates. Jump into the application and get your hands dirty. Configure your company's Allocadia instance. Now that we have imported our POs and actuals, what comes next? Let's automate the import process by setting up scheduled imports. Watch part 2 of the import video in the self-serve training series. To find the remainder of the self-serve training series and other support articles, go to support.allocadia.com.